In this video, I'm going to go over the directions and procedure for how to complete the lab activity titled Fossils, Evidence of Life on Earth. You'll notice that within this lab assignment on Google Classroom, there are 3 documents that are attached, and all 3 are necessary for the completion of this lab. The first document that we're looking at right here is the most important. It's highlighted in yellow in the title, and it is titled Fossils, Evidence of Life on Earth in the Rock Record. This is the document that's going to contain all of your answers and work from the lab. So everything that I'm grading in this lab is within this document only. So if I scroll through real quick, you'll ultimately be completing this data table and answering the analysis questions that follow. The other 2 documents are there to help you to complete the data table. One of the documents titled the Fossil Record, which has a bright green title, and the other one is titled Life on Earth Data, which has a highlighted in blue title. These are going to help you complete the lab, but no work will actually be done on these 2 documents. The only work that will be completed is going to be on this document right here. So let's start by reading the directions. Using the fossil record document and the Life on Earth data document, complete the data table below. You will copy and paste the correct names of organisms from the Life on Earth document and image of fossils from the fossil record document into the correct row in the data table. There will be a total of 2 organisms and fossils per row, and each organism name has a matching fossil. Each row contains the name of a geologic time period, as well as when the time period took place. The time column in the data table below will help you determine which fossils and names of organisms to include. Once you complete the data table, answer the analysis questions that follow. Okay, so what we're going to do is start here in this first row. Every single geologic time period is assigned a row going down. So we start with the Quaternary, which is the one closest to the present, and all the way down at the bottom of the data table, we end with the Cambrian, which is furthest back into the past. Each period is defined by specific time. So the Quaternary period, which is right now, starts with present day, which essentially is 0 years ago, that's right now, and it began 1.8 million years ago into the past. Within this time period, we need to find 2 organisms and 2 fossils that belong to this specific time period. And in order to do that, we need to focus again on the time constraints of this period. We're looking for organisms that lived anywhere between right now to 1.8 million years ago. So to start by doing that, I'm going to go to the Life on Earth data document. And the first thing I see is going to help us out a lot. I see human, in parentheses mammal, and it existed 300,000 years ago. That's when humans first came into existence on Earth. That's going to fit our criteria for an organism that's between 0 years ago and 1.8 million years ago. So I'm going to take this human and mammal, copy and paste it into my data table here. Now we need to find the corresponding human fossil. So what we need to know is the existence. It existed 300,000 years ago. So we need to remember that number, because when we go to the fossil record document, you'll notice that every fossil is assigned a number which represents how long ago that fossil existed. Humans is the very first one on the list. Here I have a picture of a skeleton, a human fossil, and it was 300,000 years ago. So I'm going to copy and paste this into my data table, make it a little smaller. Okay, so here we go. We have human and its matching fossil. But now, remember, every single time period has 2 organisms and 2 fossils. So I have 1 more to find. I need to find another organism that existed between 0 years ago and 1.8 million years ago. So I'm going to go back to my Life on Earth data, and I'm going to look in my existence on Earth time to find something else that fits. And here we go. I have the woolly mammoth, which existed 800,000 years ago. So that also fits our criteria for that first time period. So I'm going to copy and paste the name for woolly mammoth into my chart. And now I need to find the corresponding fossil, the fossil that existed 800,000 years ago. So I'm going to go into this document and look at all the numbers and find 800,000 years ago. I got it. Here is the picture of the woolly mammoth. This is what it looked like. And I'm going to put that into my chart. So now I'm going to take the woolly mammoth and bring it a little bit further down so it's exactly matching with its fossil. So I'm also going to restructure this just to save some space, make everything nice. Okay. What's really important here is the order that I put these fossils in. The human fossil is closer to the top because organisms that are younger are near the top of our rock diagrams and also our data tables. The woolly mammoth is older. It's further from the past, so it's going to be closer to the bottom of that time period. So it's important to remember that structure, younger near the top, older near the bottom. What you're going to be doing going forward for the rest of these is for every single time period, every row in this data table, you're going to be finding 2 organisms and their corresponding fossils. So for this next time period, the Neogene, you're going to be looking for organisms that existed only between 1.8 and 23 million years ago. And you're going to have 2 fossils and 2 names of organisms to put into this row. Ultimately, you're going to complete this whole data table, and you're going to see how organisms have changed from past to present through the process of evolution. Once you get to this Cambrian period, 542 million years ago, you're going to start to see organisms that you've never really seen before, because as you go back into the past, life looked very different from what it does now because of the process of evolution. And then after that, you'll answer these analysis questions. At any time while you're completing this lab activity, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out.